Coming in from Bengaluru, where the army has now been approached by the Bengaluru Development Authority to clean up its toxic lake Bellandur. BDA has confirmed to Mirror Now that they have met army personnel a couple of times to discuss the modalities, and as the army has more resources, it will be an easier task for them to clean up the lakes. Remember, before this in Mumbai, the army was given the task to build foot-over bridges at 3 different railway stations, and now once again here, there is a proposal to call upon the army to clean up the Bellandur lake. Remember, the Bellandur lake in Bengaluru has been facing a lot of trouble because of the toxicity of the lake. It has caught fire also on multiple occasions, and the government, the state government, the BDA, nobody has been able to do anything to actually clean up Bellandur lake. Listen in to what they had to say.
Providing money for Bellandur, which was done in the last budget as well. 50 crores has been provided, which is good news for Bangalore. Bellandur lake needs rejuvenation. Already a lot of works have been taken up, you would have seen. One is the de-weeding of the lake, which is in progress. Mesh has been constructed at the bridges so that the froth does not fly onto the road and to the houses around. Now we are constructing sluice gates, so the water will not flow over the wasteware, but it will come through the sluice gates, and thereby the problem of froth will be arrested to a significant extent.
Bellandur lake is being maintained and the ownership is with the BDA. So whatever questions you have to ask BDA only.
No,
I can't comment.
BDA, sir. BDA says even BBMP is unable to or doesn't want to take the responsibility.
No, it is a government decision. If the government says that BBMP should take over, we'll take over. We have 110 lakes with BBMP. All this 110 lakes, this maintenance and whatever infrastructural facilities have to be created, all this is done by BBMP, and we have been maintaining 110 lakes in the city.
It's unfortunate the state government has not really owned up the Bellandur lake problem, even after 4 years of effort that Namma Bengaluru Foundation has put and has supported with all its might, including being on the expert committee. I just would like to remind Mahendra Jain, sir, to read those 4 pages of short-term and long-term measures, and he'll realize that 95% of the work has to be done by BBMP, BWSSB, BDA and other agencies. The actual cleanup of Bellandur lake is something probably the army can step in, but so can anybody else.
Let's go across to Shrija, who's joining us. Shrija, it's actually extremely appalling that once again the army has been called upon to clean up the Bellandur lake, which has been facing so many problems, so much toxicity, giving problems to residents who live around. The civic bodies clearly are not able to do anything about it.
Well, absolutely. You can hear the admission coming in from the state government itself, where they are clearly saying that they are not in a position, be it the BDA, who is the custodian of Bellandur Lake, which is spread across 900 acres. Apart from that, you have the civic body, who is also one of the stakeholders of this particular water body. And then you also have BWSSB as well. So all these 3 agencies, the government agencies, have completely abdicated from their position, where clearly we see when we did try and question the BBMP, they say that indirectly that they are ready to take up the job or the responsibility of cleaning up the lake, but however it is not in their purview and it comes under the ambit of the BDA, and that BDA should go ahead and clean up the lake. But of course we did also speak and get in touch with the BDA as well as the state government, but they are of the opinion by saying that they do not have enough manpower or, for that matter, equipment to ensure that they can clean up the Bellandur lake, which is absolute admission, where they're clearly saying that they are incompetent enough, but clearly they need the help of the army, where they need the man-force. Clearly we see that they also need especially the technical help over here, so that the army can clean up the water body and ensure that it is maintained well.
Right. So, Shrija, at this point, between the state government, between the BBMP, the BDA, or whoever else is responsible as far as the Bellandur Lake is concerned, Is there any progress at all in terms of attempting to find a solution to clean up the lake?
Well, absolutely. If you clearly remember, it's been over 1.5 years since this particular expert committee report was placed before the NGT as well. And clearly we see every now and then NGT pulling up the state government and also the civic, the bodies who have failed to in fact discharge their duties. And we also see at this point in time that they had, of course, come up with various measures, one being the short-term measure where they plan on to desal the water body, de-weed it, and then you also have the long-term measure being the installation of the STP, which is possible only in the year 2020. So clearly we see that the state government is just in deep slumber and they are just waiting for 2020 so that they can say that they are ready now with the STP and they can ensure that the sewage or the treated water will enter the Bellandur lake. But at this point in time, now remember the quantity of we see that the sewage which enters Bellandur lake stands at 480 MLD, which means it receives at least 60% from across Bengaluru, which flows into this water body of 900 acres. So you can only imagine the kind of pollution that we're talking about.
All right. Thanks, Shrija, for getting us those details.